Yo, YouTubians, we would like to welcome you guys to our channel called Clutch Vacation, where we love to talk about travel and show you guys where we go and what we do. So to my right is my lovely wife.
My name is Tanae. Hey everyone.
And me, I am Marcus X Hoke. So we recently just came back from a 7-day cruise to the Western Caribbean on the new Carnival ship called the Celebration. So we're going to try to break it down, give you our overall review of what we think and how we felt about the whole cruise. So I don't know if you noticed or not, but it's been like almost 10 years since we've been on a cruise.
I don't think it's been that long, has it?
Okay, it felt like about 10 years. I mean, because it was almost like night and day on how things was on the ship to me.
It's been like 7 years? 7 or 8 years.
Been about 7 or 8 years, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that. Now that's the God honest truth. It's like 7, 8 years.
10 years was like our first cruise, I think.
We'll talk about it later.
10 or 11 years was like our first cruise.
I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna show you.
Okay, let's move on from that.
So, we want to talk about the embarkation and debarkation. We're gonna go ahead and start about that. How in the heck you got on the ship? So, we did a different process. We normally have our passports, but we didn't have it this time. So this time we use our birth certificates and another form of ID. So what do you think about that process? How do you feel about it?
It just seemed about as smooth as using your passports. Like we had to pull out that big sheet, that big certificate or whatever, versus just flipping our passport open. But it was a smooth process, nonetheless. We got through pretty quickly. Even the embarkation, like the line for birth certificates, they had separate lines for birth certificates and passports.
Mm-hmm.
The birth certificate line, it was like nobody in there, so we just kind of breezed on through.
Yep, absolutely. So we were able to almost beat the line where my parents went with me on this one. My family did. So we almost met them at the same time with the different lines, and we had a conversation with the officer that was checking us in, the TSA officer. So it was almost faster doing it that way, but we had more documents we had to keep up with. Right. So that's one thing you have to remember. And with my wife, on her birth certificate, it's not gonna have our her maiden name's gonna be on there. Because, we decided to marry outside of our family,
What?
Yeah, because we had different names.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so, since we decided to marry like normal people, she had a different name on her birth certificate. So we decided to bring our marriage certificate as well, just so there would be no hiccups.
Yeah, but we didn't need it. They didn't check for it, but I don't know, like from cruise to cruise, if they happen to check for it. Just simply because when we had our passports before, my maiden name was actually on my passport, but we hadn't married, and on my license I had my married name, Mayweather. So they kind of made a little bit of a fuss about that. So
yes, but
I guess it varies on who you run into that day.
Absolutely. So, normally they got Cujo running around too, because y'all know Carnival ain't playing that no more with bringing that marijuana on. Even though I felt like I smelled some marijuana on the ship, but it is what it is. If you got it on, you got it on. You ain't making me mad. But anywho, by the time we got on the ship, as we passed by the security station, that's when the dogs start coming out. So it's like we missed each other. It was kind of weird. I didn't even see the dog. Like I saw him. I saw Cujo. It was 3 of them. So I was like, okay. It's like, and it seemed like they were kind of training too at the time, because there was one guy talking to 2 girls, and I'm quite sure it's normally not that many people at one station. And we also brought on 2 bottles of wine and 2 things of
sparkling water.
There you go. I don't drink it, so I don't know it. So we brought on
bottled sparkling water, not glass, like Topo Chico.
Well, actually, can. Hers was can.
Oh yeah, can.
You tripping? Cuz
I did say bottled, but
good.
They know what I mean.
No, they don't. So she brought on 2 cases of can, and we were able to just carry those on the ship because we were allowed to do it. I literally had to tell them, like, hey, hold on, let me pull out my wine. And they're like, oh, you got wine? And then they checked it to see if it was to their standards, the 750 milliliters, and it wasn't a port wine. So Embarcation, Debarkation, they both went smoothly to me. All right.
Yeah, very smooth compared to our previous ship because it was a little hectic.
Absolutely. It was actually real smooth. When they called our section, we went, and it's like we didn't have to stop at all. We just pretty much went through there, then we waited until they called our section again after passing through the checkpoints for security, and then we hit the gangway and we were on the ship. So let's talk about our rooms, babe. What do you feel about our rooms? So we had an interior room, so because we said this time we just want to get on the ship, right? We don't need a balcony, we don't need nothing exquisite, no suites.
I mean,
we just want to get on the room. So what do you think about it?
I mean, anytime we go, we just kind of get on the ship. We ain't really like balled out and got a balcony yet.
We have got a balcony. Don't you try me?
When we do that?
Girl, we got a balcony when we went on our second cruise. We got a balcony.
Okay, I guess I don't remember. I don't remember that.
Y'all, she acting like I don't spend no coins on them.
Don't. What do you mean? The room. Change the subjects. The room was pretty nice. The ship itself was only like a year or two old. Yeah,
it came out in 2002. The end of
2022.
That year, 2022. There's another 2 on there.
There's a lot of things we probably gonna edit out this video.
It's not. We're gonna keep this rolling. I don't know why she said that. But yeah, 2022. The ship was made. It was like the end of the year, so it's fairly new. And you can kind of tell the newness. One thing that you mentioned was they were having more, I guess you could say, preventative things as far as like the food. Like you can wash your hand washing stations, right, where all the food was. So that's one thing that this newer ship had.
You can tell they had like COVID and, you know.
Yeah, they wanted to
illness in mind.
Absolutely. But with the room in itself, we're used to the older rooms where the shower curtain. Well, you got the shower curtain. We actually had like a little glass plastic thing. I don't want to give it too much credit to say it was glass, but we had a shower that.
You don't think it was glass?
It may have been faux glass.
Faux glass.
Mm-hmm, not real glass.
Yeah, but it kind of like tilted like in and out, so you could get out of the shower easier,
right?
Versus that old shower curtain.
Cause I don't know about y'all, the worst thing is you taking that shower and that shower curtain hits you on the ass, and you just like I didn't want this type of experience, you know. So it actually kind of rolled, and it was great. I loved it. It was where it needed to be. So also the outlets. We had outlets right there by our headboards.
USB.
Yeah, USB outlets, and then there was also a reading light there too, where if you didn't want to disturb, you know, whoever else in the room and you wanted to read a little bit, you had that light there too. The refrigerator was there. It was more than enough space for me as far as clothes wise. I normally keep my clothes in my bag anyways and just pull out what I want to. The wife, she moves in. She used every drawer that she could.
I didn't move in, but...
You didn't move in?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I have my clothes and stuff out. Like, I don't...
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to be there longer than a few days, I might as well just unpack. That's how I feel. We went on a week-long cruise, so...
We did.
I unpacked.
Got you. All right, so that was the room. I think that was everything we needed, especially having the interior. Whenever we wanted to go take a nap, all you had to do was hit the lights. You know what I'm saying? It was dark whenever you hit those lights. And they had a new mechanism for the lights too, where you actually had to slide your key in. And here's a quick tip. You don't necessarily need to use your key. Any card will do. So you got an old like student ID, you got an old like a rewards card. You can slide that into that space too, so you don't feel like you're going.
Like a paper business card?
Yeah. Yep. I use business cards. I had 2 little business cards that I used. I slid them in there, and it kept the lights on. And you need to keep that on so you can charge everything in your room too. So don't feel like okay, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm gonna charge my phone real quick. No, there's no electricity running through the room, so you have to put that in there in order for that to happen. Okay, so let's move on to hospitality. How do you feel like the crew was?
The crew, like, I guess the crew taking care of our rooms, they may have been a little bit overwhelmed, just based off previous experience, because when we went on our past cruise, it's like they knew us by name and they would call our name.
Oh yeah.
This time around, we didn't get that same treatment. And I feel like they had more rooms that they needed to service, so they couldn't really remember everybody. So, I mean, that's understandable. The service at dinner was really good.
Oh man, service at dinner, and we went to different restaurants. We just didn't go to the main dining facility. We went to a few other restaurants. Well, 2 other restaurants as well that was on the ship, and everybody was really good, except, I mean, we had that one hiccup with the one restaurant that we won't say. It's just that it was a lot going on, and
yeah,
he did his best. I'll say that, but it was a lot going on, and
well, you know, can't say the name.
I mean, if you want to say the name, say the name.
I mean, it's probably not gonna be the same on every ship, but it was shebang.
It was shebang.
It was a Mexican Chinese fusion restaurant. How they do reservations is like pretty much you need to if you have a party of 10 or more, you have to reserve the day before, but they don't allow you to do it on the app. So you have to actually go there and reserve, make a reservation if you have a party of 10 or more. If you don't, the reservations open up like maybe like a couple hours before they open, so you have to kind of get in there and reserve it pretty quickly if you want to get in that night. And the food was okay. It was okay.
It was a different taste. It's good if you like trying things. You want to try something new. I want to say that restaurant was good for that. I wasn't mad about it. It was good to me.
Food needed a little bit more seasoning.
It needed a little bit more color on there. I ain't gonna lie to you. You need a little bit more color. But besides that, it was pretty good. We just had a mix up of who was all supposed to be there and who wasn't there. Once we got that situated,
they had people in our party that wasn't in our party.
Yeah, and then we ended up with a picture of somebody on our phone, because on the app, all the pictures that you take, they'll put them on the app so you can review them. So of course you can buy them, and we did buy one. We're gonna show y'all that picture here in a little bit. But you know, it was somebody who I had no idea who he was. And it was kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you.
Him and his lady.
Oh yeah, they were all held up. But anyways, the service was good. Our main dining servers, man.
Yeah, they were
like,
very good.
No, they know your name. They know what you like. They pretty much know what you gonna drink before you even ask for it.
I just had water, so
it was.
They didn't have a hard job with me.
No, not for you, but you know, everybody else around the table had certain things that they normally like, and they knew, like, hey, you normally get a drink from the bar. What would you like? You know, it's like, are you gonna try this again tonight? And they actually study. Like the lady, I can't remember her name. We're gonna put it up here, but they actually go and study who's going to be sitting at their tables, and you got to take your hat off for that. It's like they like to know, they like to make you feel as comfortable as possible. So, you know, hats off to them. Gonna go back to what she said about the room service, not room service, but the people that was taking care of our rooms. You can tell they were short staffed. You know what I mean? You can tell, but they still did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
As soon as you left and came back, pretty much your room was still, you know, like a ninja came in there and straightened everything up. And the towel animals are always, you know, funny. And then, you know, that last towel with the heart in it is always hard to see. If you cruise a lot, you know that last towel, that means that was the last night. And you got to go back to the real world. So that was a little hard to see, but they did a fantastic job. All right. So you want to talk about the ports a little bit, babe?
Did you want to talk about the steakhouse?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
First, since we're talking about the restaurant, so
Okay.
that's pretty much.
Okay, let's do it.
Did we do anything else other than shebang and the steakhouse?
No,
I don't think so.
we just did
And
shebang
the regular dining.
Mhm.
Oh, C-Day brunch. Okay.
Hey,
I forgot about C-Day brunch.
get into
Let's
it.
talk about the steakhouse first.
Okay.
We went to the steakhouse on the first night.
And the steakhouse is called the 555 Fahrenheit. I do believe.
Or was it Fahrenheit 555?
Both of those words are in there.
Yeah, it just kind of.
They somewhere in there. All right. So if you go on the first night, you get a free bottle of wine. This is what Carnival's doing as of right now. If they change it, don't know. But right now, you get a free bottle of wine. But if you don't tell them you want that free bottle of wine, they may not tell you. I heard at one table somebody offer it like, hey, you here the first night, you get a free bottle of wine. At our table, they didn't say nothing. They was trying to hold on to that bad boy.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a gentleman and his mother sitting to the side of us, and he heard me say, I thought we were supposed to get a bottle of wine. He's like, you do? He said, if you know, you know, just let them know. I said, bad. And one thing about that, when you meet somebody one time on the cruise, you keep running into them.
You see them everywhere.
You see them everywhere, and I promise you, it's like you won't meet a stranger, even if you're. And we're the type of people where we try to stay to ourselves, pretty much for the most part. But you know, on a cruise, we'll mingle, we'll talk to people. But yeah, so what was your take on that, babe? How did you like the steakhouse?
The steakhouse was wonderful, and I think it spoiled the rest of the food for the trip. Just a little bit. Like, I still enjoyed the food the rest of the way, but you could tell it was just a different level of quality. I had surf and turf.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to think back because it was like, at this point, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, we're about 3 weeks in now. But don't worry, we got each day vlog, and y'all be able to check that out. I'm gonna make a playlist, and y'all check out. We got days 1 through 7. And we've tried to record as much as possible, so y'all be able to check that out as too. So, but
it
yeah,
was very good though.
Absolutely,
the bottle of wine was good.
It was.
I had for dessert, I had fresh fruit, and then they had some sort of like lime sorbet, something that was really, really good. I don't do really like a lot of sugar and like baked goods, so that was a good alternative for me, and it was very good.
Well, I do a lot of sugar and a lot of baked goods. As you can see, I'm a little plump. So I gained 5 pounds when we got back from the cruise. I was like, yeah, I bet because I was eating. Y'all check the vlogs out. Your boy was eating. But
what did you think about the steakhouse?
Man, I thought the steakhouse was right where it's supposed to be, on top. It was really good. It was almost 4 course meal, 4 or 5 course meal. You had your appetizer, you had the chef special, you know, and a little dish from the chef. You had the actual entree, and you had the dessert. So, and then I guess if you want to count the bread, because I guess you can put that with the appetizer. I mean, they had the bread for. I don't know how you want to count it, but it was at least a 4 course meal, and I mean, it did cost. That is at a cost. It's $50 per person, pretty much. We left with tip because we thought everything was where it's supposed to be. They went beyond what they're supposed to done. And they celebrated my wife's birthday, which was like last month.
Right. In October.
It was in October. We went in November.
So
the end of November.
Some sort of mix up. It was a little awkward.
It was weird, but you know, we appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. So, because we did say this cruise, we're going to celebrate everything. We're going to do both birthdays, anniversary, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
I guess it was my birthday.
So it was her birthday. You feel me? But the steakhouse was really good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely do it on every cruise. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
If we'll do it the first day every time, maybe not. It just all depends on what they're offering. If they're still offering the bottle of wine, then to me it was almost worth it to get that free bottle of wine, because I didn't buy the drink package, and with me bringing on 2 bottles and I brought 1 bottle back, you know, just buying maybe a total of 2 drinks, Well, actually, about one. I got one for free. I mean, it was worth it for me. What do you think?
I mean, I don't drink anything hardly, but sparkling water, regular water, and like have some wine. So I didn't feel a need for the drink package.
Right.
Of course, but I mean, your miles may vary.
Absolutely. I mean,
it depends on, you know, how often you want to drink, what you want to drink.
If you're drinking for sport, I mean, just all depends on you.
Yeah, even when I wanted to mix it up, I just had, like, for breakfast, like, I have orange juice or, like, I'll mix tea and lemonade together. That was the free stuff, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, C-Day Brunch. You mentioned it. Let's talk about it.
C-Day Brunch was very good. We went every C-Day.
So, yeah, we had 2 C-Days, and
Did we have 2 or 3? I thought we had 3 C-Days.
Did we have 3?
Yeah.
We had 3 C-Days.
Yeah, we had 3 C-Days.
And we went all 3 C-Days. But we did go to a regular, they had like a regular breakfast too, and we'll talk about that. But let's first talk about the C-Day brunch.
It was very, very, very good.
So
we made sure we made that reservation too.
Absolutely.
Like early in the morning.
And here's another tip, guys. With Carnival and other cruise lines, they're all going to an app-based type of service where you have to use your app in order to reserve where you're going to eat at. Your anytime dining, that's going to be set in stone, but it's like if you want to eat somewhere else, now they want you to reserve it on the app just so they can know how many people are coming. They can give you a table, and it kind of streamlines everything. Now, if you don't know that, you're going to be sitting there looking crazy like I was, because they stopped me. I was like, all right, I'm about to go get this brunch. You feel me? They're like, nah, hold up, wait, pump your brakes.
Hold on, player.
It's like, did you make a reservation? What's your table number? I was like, what? What? He's like, nah, what's your table number, player? I was like, I don't know. So they showed me how to make the reservation, and from then on, we were straight. We were reservating everything. Everything was reservated. You feel me? Everything. So C-Day brunch was good. Each time we went, it was just a banger. Now, can we talk about the regular breakfast?
Well, that's kind of, I guess we showed what we ate.
Yep.
So y'all can see the clips and things.
Absolutely.
But it was good. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. But the regular breakfast, guys.
Not the buffet breakfast.
Right.
Like, you actually had, I think we had to reserve that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the regular reserve breakfast.
Yeah.
It's not good.
So the breakfast in the dining room, guys, I would say don't go. It wasn't for me. If you just like that style where you don't have to get up and you have the waitress come serve you, go for it. It's your vacation, live your life. But I think breakfast tastes way better upstairs on the Lido, where you could hit the buffet up. Omelet station, man, he hooked me up. He hooked me up on my omelet. It's like, okay, cool. And I know my dad, he hit it every morning. Like, he was up there every morning, same thing. He was with it. But we went up there and we're like, okay, this is where we're spending our breakfast at when it's just a regular port day.
It kind of seemed a lot like, I don't know, fresher maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
When we went to breakfast, I had like pancakes and they were just like dry, like they had just been sitting there or something.
That's the breakfast that was in the dining room.
Right, the breakfast in the dining room. And then I had a sandwich that was okay, with egg and bacon. It was just okay. Like, it was really nothing to write home about. Like, you'd be better off, like he said, just going to the Lido deck.
Go to the Lido deck for that. That's what I think. And then
if it's not C-Day brunch, just go to the Lido deck.
And speaking of just the Lido deck, since we're on the Lido deck, let's talk about it a little bit, okay? You don't have to go to the dining room to eat at all if you don't want to. You can go up on the Lido deck and eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks in between. They will have just about the same thing they're serving at dinner, Downstairs,
it's pretty much exactly the same.
yeah, it's pretty much the same. They'll bring it up and they'll have it up there too. So if you don't want to get all dressed up, say it is formal night and you feel like, hey, I just don't want to get dressed up for this, you can go to the Lido deck and almost get the same thing. A little bit different as far as desserts wise, but most part it's the same thing. So don't feel like you have to go to the dining room in order to eat. You don't never have to see the inside of the dining room if you don't want to, unless it's your mustard station. But we didn't talk about mustard. Mustard was real quick and easy too.
Wow, that was a good segue.
It just
jump right into
it. Just happens. So when we first got on the ship, and I'm sorry, y'all, we're gonna backtrack just a little bit. We had to complete our mustard drill. The mustard drill was really simple. You go to your mustard station, you check in. It was a total of 4 of us. He showed us how to put on the life vest, and then he said, if you don't make it in time, don't worry about it. You're just gonna have to swim home. But no, he didn't say that. But he showed us that drill. He scanned us in. There was another safety video upstairs. You can watch it if you wanted to. You didn't have to. And that was a lot better than when we used to go on cruises where everybody would have to sit there where the lifeboats were.
Yeah, we had to pile in there.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Everybody. And then it's hot.
I guess they had maybe like 2 different, like one on each side, maybe, or maybe they split it out a little bit more. It was just a lot of people in that area,
and it was really hot, and
it took a lot of time too.
And I want to say the last time somebody fell out when we were there, and and they had to fan them back to life. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to stop this.
So like how they do it now, they pretty much have mustard stations around the ship. It might be like in a restaurant, it might be like in a theater, or like the club or wherever. So they just kind of spread it out so people are not like crowded on each other.
Absolutely. So speaking of club, we got another segue. She said club. So let's talk about the events that happen around the ship. How do you feel about the entertainment, I guess you would say, overall?
I guess we did quite a bit.
We did enough.
I feel like they could have had a little bit more, but maybe we didn't explore enough to see what
Why you running away from me? Come here.
Different events and things. I'm just leaning back.
Yeah, we all married and stuff. You trying to run away?
Leaning back.
Okay, you can just make a ship.
We did like the usual like comic club stuff. We only seen one comic. We probably could have seen the other 3. I think they had on the cruise.
They had a total of 4 comics. So
yeah. We probably could have done that. We went to karaoke. They had a Family Feud live that had some technical difficulties.
They had real world problems. They're right then and there. And our cruise director Lee, he was awesome, man. He rolled with the punches. He was like, hey, all right, hey, ain't nothing we can do about it. Let's just keep it going. He even talked to us. He even mentioned, he said, well, Steve Harvey, he would talk to you guys in between breaks. And he said, I guess this is my moment. And he pretty much had a message, which is a message that I use as well. Control what you can control and let everything else roll. Like, that's the main thing right there. Control the controllables. So absolutely.
Yeah, it was interesting, but he, like Marcus was saying, he just kind of rolled with the punches, and everybody was cool with that for the most part. They just kind of laughed it off. Another thing that happened is the lady from one of the families actually got sick. Yeah. And it was a rocky night on the ship. So that's understandable. She actually had to go off stage and, take care of that. Take care of business. She did. She did return. So. She did.
We also watched Deal or No Deal. Now, Deal or No Deal, you can actually play along with. And with this, it was pretty cool because she was one lady, she didn't win nothing. She won like $5 in a hug. The other,
like less than that.
The other guy, he ended up winning, I think like $200 or so. It was
like $350.
Was it $350?
Like that.
I was taking taxes out.
I don't know. And then the other lady won like $2 or something.
It was bad, but you actually could buy cards and play along with them, and some people was winning pretty decently on there alongside them. So it was a that was a good representation as well, I think, of just some things you can do with the nightlife. And she decided to partake in the office trivia. So they had several different trivia things. They had bingo. You won't be bored on the ship. If you're bored on the ship, I think you're just stick in the mud, to use an old phrase, if you're bored. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you branch out, you can find things to do. At some points, I kind of felt like it was like a little lull where we didn't really know where we wanted to go or what we wanted to do. But like we either went to eat or just kind of chilled in the room for a little bit or went to Lido deck. We actually happened on the Lido deck one day, and then they just happened to have a movie on. So they do movies probably like 2 or 3 times during the course of a cruise.
And they'll tell you when those movies are, too.
Right.
And
on
what the
your
movies
itinerary.
are. Yep.
But I didn't even know that when we went on the Lido deck, I didn't even realize that they had been playing that movie at that time.
Really?
So that was kind of cool to just kind of go out there and be like, okay, well, I'll just sit and watch this movie.
Absolutely.
We watched Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, the new Super Mario Brothers. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was.
I enjoyed that. It was nostalgic too. So.
Cause she old. So
you about as old.
So the entertainment I think was really good. They even had something for the kids. They had the cat in the hat. Yeah. Where they paraded around looking for the cat in the hat, and I thought that was awesome. Where even the kids get involved. I know Carnival.
Dr. Seuss is on the loose.
Dr. Seuss was on the loose. That was it. And
it was so cute.
It was very cool. What else? You want to talk about? I'll let you pick the next thing, if anything.
What else did we really do?
I mean the islands. I mean, we got off on each. I said islands, but we got off on each port just at least to stretch our legs, just to walk through. Nothing major. We didn't do any excursions this time around. We said we're really just trying to pretty much just enjoy each other and just get away from the real world for a little bit. Just put that on pause because it's been 3 years since we've been on vacation in general. So we wanted to make sure that we was kind of just enjoying each other.
Yeah.
So
with COVID happening and other things, life things.
Yeah. So it is what it is on that. But all in all, what would you rate this trip? Because I know we could talk forever, and I want to go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah.
So out of 10, what are you rating this trip?
I think I'll give it a solid 8.
Okay.
The cruise ship was new.
Yep.
It's bigger than any cruise ship that we had been on so far. And just everything was, kosher. Everything was pretty good. We had some excellent things here, like the C-Day brunch.
Right.
The steakhouse. And then even some of our dinner nights were pretty good.
Absolutely.
The entertainment was good. So, I really didn't have any complaints. Room was clean, modern. Just a new, fresh ship. I mean,
absolutely.
Don't have much to really complain about.
So I do have one thing to complain about. We were getting eaten alive by something. Something was biting us.
I guess I just wanted to block that out of my memory.
I'm not going to block it. I'm going to go ahead and pull it to the forefront. So something was biting us, and it was like, what the hell is biting us? And besides that, I give it an 8 regardless. Because we don't know what was biting us if we got off the ship and it was attacking us.
I wasn't getting bit off the ship because I feel like I would have noticed that.
Me too, but I mean,
I feel like I was getting bit in the room, but we actually had them inspect the room and they didn't find anything. We looked in the room, we didn't see anything.
We didn't see nothing. So whatever, maybe we had some type of allergic reaction to the washing powder they had.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
We were definitely getting bit by something. It wasn't an allergic reaction.
That's what they tried to tell us, that it's probably an allergic reaction. But the way
we're both allergic to the same foods. That's what they were telling us.
I'm not saying that can't happen. There's people that probably meet at I'm allergic to shellfish.com.
His diet is completely different from mine.
That is true. I mean that is true, but You know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna hold that part against them. But I give it the trip overall at 8. So, like I said earlier, guys, we are Clutch Vacations. We want to kind of just show y'all what our travel life is like. And if you want to start your own travel life, we're here to help. We're also travel agents. We will book your vacation for you. We'll work with you to try to get that dream vacation down pat. I know Christmas is coming up, so if you can't really find that gift in the stores, man, get a vacation. Get a vacation for next year. Say, hey, this is for Christmas. Look, I'm helping you. All right. So contact information is down below, clutchvacations@gmail.com. Send us an email and let's see if we can help you out get that dream vacation. Baby, do you got anything for the people?
I think that's it. We can say our goodbyes.
All right. Well, I like to always say this. Make sure you tell somebody that you love them. Do it now because you may not get the opportunity to do it later. So until next time, I'm going to give them a deuce. I don't know about you. Peace.